Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Coin Lady channel. A former SEC attorney has the integrity to admit the truth about the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit, revealing that the SEC is actually suing the very people they claim to be protecting, namely, the XRP holders. It is their job to keep us out, after all. Unfortunately for the SEC, that didn't happen because attorney John Deaton intervened as amicus curiae on behalf of a group of XRP investors numbering in the low seven figures. You can tell he's shooting straight here. This fairly honest ex-SEC attorney is someone I greatly respect. There's a recent video, and I'll show you exactly what he said, but he does recognize what's happened here, and I'll show you where he's based. It packs a serious punch. This is, barring a miracle, the best possible outcome in the SEC versus Ripple case. Yet here is the location where it occurred. This lawyer is making the point that it works really well. And then also, I'd like to briefly mention that XRP turned 1 year old yesterday. There you go. XRP has been around for 11 years. And I just wanted to take a moment to say thanks and give you some insight into that. To clarify, I have neither the legal nor financial resources to pursue this. I am not qualified to give you financial or legal counsel. Nothing I say or write should be used as a basis for making any financial decisions. Just a hobbyist here that occasionally posts films to YouTube on various crypto-related topics. So, here's a headline from the Coin Game XRP lawsuit. Ex-SEC lawyer predicts one-off Ripple when. I'll only be covering a small part of this, so let me jump right into a transcription I made of a video clip. However, the relevant text from the article is as follows. Former senior trial counsel at the SEC, Nick Morgan, praised the backing given by individual holders of XRP tokens in the SEC complaint. Even if Ripple prevails in the XRP litigation, he expected the SEC would still defend the other crypto claims, given the agency's track record. Therefore, I believe that everyone here was prepared for this. This is an idea I've discussed before. But even if things go well for Ripple and/or XRP holders, they won't necessarily pivot, or at least not to a particularly noteworthy degree. They'll still say things like, well, the facts and circumstances with this one case be unique here because we're a little about how bad a bad debt is. However, in the remaining instances, these asset pricks will continue to pursue justice with the same zeal they've always shown. And in my opinion, they are Satan's offspring. Well, that settles it. I want to give a shout out and some credit to my fellow XRP YouTuber, FinCryptoEddie. This video clip first came to my attention because she linked to it. As well as the following, which she penned. Nick Morgan's, a former senior trial counsel at the SEC, offers his thoughts on the Ripple case. And I transcribed what I thought was the most important part. Additionally, he is this person up above. I need to drink some water. We appreciate your being correct. Okay, I'm back. So, here's what retired SEC lawyer Morgan had to say about that. By the way, you were saying, the Ripple instance is a good illustration of what can be done by individuals in the space. This is not a simple task. To be sure, in every SEC case, you've got the SEC that purports to be looking out for investors' interests, and you've got the defendants who the SEC has accused of doing something wrong. However, in the Ripple case, I think XRP token holders' attempts to have their voice heard in this case have been very effective. You lack representation from the investors, however. The SEC actively discourages this as a means of discouraging participation in such instances. And in those situations, there are means to get your views heard. It's not a walk in the park, but neither is it an impossibility. If you care about the tokens that are issued in a particular case, you should try to find a way to have your voice heard by the judge in person. To that end, this is, quite simply, the finest possible outcome. Since the SEC has angered John Dean as much as it has the rest of us, he decided to join in. His case with the SEC was severely damaged by the fact that he joined the fray and is now representing over 76,000 XRP holders. Furthermore, this has absolutely never occurred before. And there's never been a case where 76,000 or even close to that participants are being represented on behalf of amicus counsel, in this case, John Deaton. This is genuinely simply something that is unprecedented to jumping to this degree specifically. It's tough to pass judgment on Torres, who apparently accepted all this, which, incidentally, I still consider to be a wonderful indication. And we shall observe the results. This is all fantastic to watch, though. It's also helpful to have an SEC lawyer on your side who isn't trying to pull the wool over your eyes. Or, even if you find one and manage to hire them, you won't have much success in communicating with them. They presumably don't want to risk losing their job, thus I don't think so. But if you can find intellectually honest SEC attorneys who once worked there, former SEC attorneys, I find that they nearly always sing a different tune. You know, I've been featuring some work from federal attorney Mark in recent weeks. I don't necessarily agree with him, but I respect his intellectual integrity. In addition, Attorney Morgan in this case appears to this is terrible news for the SEC, no doubt. And then Deaton's legal counsel chimed in, oh, and by the way, I want to mention this to its attorney John Dean's birthday today, June 3rd, the day after XRP's own birthday. What do you think? I mean, it wouldn't have been anything if it were literally the same day if it had been wrong by just one day. Everyone on Twitter has been wishing him a happy birthday, and I even tweeted my own personal birthday greeting to him. However, here's what Deaton said in response as an attorney. To you as well, Eddie. Nick Morgan is an upstanding member of the galactic community. In addition to the Coinbase and Ripple cases, this brilliant attorney and all-around nice guy wrote an amicus brief in the library case. Therefore, you should value this. Just thought I'd throw out there that it's refreshing to hear some forthrightness from a former SEC attorney. I think it's great. Hence, the deserved praise. And now, on to the next topic, and again, it's simply funny that Johnny's birthday is a day after XRP. Alright, I've got XRP for you. Pano, a community member who frequently attends panels, once tweeted that XRP was born 11 years ago. On that day, the renowned development team of Arthur, David, and Jed invented XRP, a deflationary currency and the native coin of the XRP ledger. Moreover, I haven't broached the subject in a very long time. It's kind of put aside for special occasions like XRP's birthday. And the narrative itself wasn't widely known for quite some time. David Schwartz didn't provide any concrete details about where XRP came from until the year's end. And on the occasion of its real, figuratively speaking, birthday, David Schwartz, one of its creators, penned the following. In the past, also, today is December 12, 2019. He stated that the creation date of XRP and the history of the XRP ledger have been topics of speculation. Let me shed some light on the matter. I began working on the XRP ledger alongside Arthur Brito and Jed McCaleb in late 2011. November 2011 is my first time committing code. She understood the cut of his jib, and there's a link I didn't open for the sake of the video. Here is Arthur's code that generated 100 billion XRP, back then known as X and S, on June 2, 2012, the day XRP was born. This does represent a code push, but it also reflects the obvious usage of GitHub's history, which records the number of times each day that we contribute to and run code. A connection is provided afterward. As an aside, here's one of the things I haven't asked him about yet but have discussed a few times on my channel, but still don't know. However, XRP was formerly known as X and S. What did the X and S represent for? Does anyone have any idea? Because I've told myself just this once when I didn't know something, and then promptly forgotten it. And David Schwartz is the one person I never think to ask. But if any of you do know, please share your knowledge in the comments. It needs to represent something. That doesn't strike me as a random occurrence. I mean, in terms of the significance of the X, I can make an educated prediction. In all likelihood, it corresponds to the X in XRP. That's because it's not a real country, of course. If the item in question does not represent a country and instead has a tiny ticker symbol, then you can just substitute an X. However, I am unable to decipher the NS designation for X. Do I need to see the writing on the wall? Will it be blatantly obvious? Now then, if somebody with insider knowledge cares to correct me, I'll do my best to remember to ask anyone, perhaps by sending out a tweet. However, David Schwartz continues, the XRP ledger began accepting transactions in the wild in June of 2012. Due to the fact that we were still vigorously stomping out issues in those early days, the ledger sequence was reset several times due to changes in the binary format, and the transaction history was lost. Since the XRP ledger version we are familiar with today began in December 2012, this does not mean that 100 billion XRP were produced from scratch each time. Data from the first 7 days of work, or up to letter 32,570, was lost. However, members of the XRP community, like as Thomas Schultz of the Upgyre, have started digging into it. Yeah. At this moment, I anticipate that situation to continue indefinitely. Rather, you're hearing it here first. And the point was, it didn't really matter because, you know, the deals are the deals, and you can effectively tally. You could theoretically begin at 33,570, but that's not that relevant. This is the thing, with all due respect, even if that's the case. So, to sum up what David Schwartz thought or has said, consider the following. They reset, read, and reset again. The tweet I just showed you actually has him saying that. Of course, as he pointed out to you, this in no way implies that you are aware that XRP is constantly being recreated through recruitment. It's meaningless because it's simply a tiny counter. And it happened during the test run. It's as though nobody ever used it. This renders the point moot. They didn't understand that it was the final version, so they didn't bother to reset it. However, everyone seemed to understand it after the fact. If we'd known that, we could have easily reset it. It's in beta testing, so it wasn't available to the general public anyhow. It makes no difference. The data may have been lost, but the issue was detected during beta testing, repaired, and the product released anyhow. I felt compelled to point that up. There you have it. As of yesterday, XRP has been around for 11 years. What do you think? I don't give advice on money matters. Nothing I say should influence any purchases you make for yourself. Right? And in the end, please like and subscribe my channel. See you in the next video. Bye.